We are back! Yes! With some more Train Simulator Classic. We have another route to do today, which is a return route of someone else's requests, and that someone this time, it's Lou Koza. And he did, not so long ago, the new South London and Thameslink route, which is a combination of the Brighton line, the Thameslink London part, and then the sort of up to the Bedport line, goes up to Bedford. So he did it starting at Bedford and going to Hove in the class 377 Electrostar. We are going to be doing it slightly different. We're going to go the opposite way. Okay, we're going to start at Brighton. We're going to go to Bedford, but we're going to go via Herne Hill, so it's a slightly different route. But we're going to be doing this in the Thameslink Class 700, which is a 8-car train in the new livery, newish livery, and yep, we're going to. This is a multi-mode DC and AC, and this will be on DC to start with because the Brighton line is third rail. Stopping wise, we will stop at Haywards Heath, Gatwick Airport and East Croydon. Then the core London stops like Farringdon and St Pancras, etc. Then St Albans, Luton and then Bedford. So it's a fast service. It's not an express run, but it's a fast service. And the other specifics are it's summer, it's clear, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Right, so I think with that all said, this is the first time I've driven this route and this loco. They're both debuting on the channel, even though I have done the actual original Brighton line before, but this is the slightly modified one. So let's see what happens. Right, okay, here we are at Brighton. This is our train in the nice sort of white Thameslink. The pantographs are down by all accounts, so let's just check at the back. Yeah, they're all down. Okay, so we've got 8 cars. Let's see what we need to do about setting this up. Right, there's a master key here. Okay. Right.
TPWS as AWS operational.
What the hell is that noise? Okay, changeover is auto. I can't see any alerts. I can't press anything here or here. Cab light will just switch to main. Okay, power supply is on, we'll switch that to on, and AC and DC looks auto there, so we'll switch it to DC for now. But what the hell is that noise? External lights, we'll run that on dim. Okay, well, we've acknowledged AWS and everything, so I'm buggered if I know what that beeping's about. Let's turn that off and on again.
TPWS as AWS operational.
Oh, I can't do anything about it. Ah, looks like something there is disabled. DAS. Driver something system. Wipers, no. Okay, well, I don't know what this is. Release the doors on the right. So, well, let's let some people on anyway. Ah, so yeah, we have to. I think we have to release the doors. Okay. Well, we've still got that irritating sound. We've got lots of things here, but we don't appear to be able to do anything with them. Can't have that sound on. It's going to drive me absolutely bonkers. Yeah, can't touch anything here. They're the only views we've got. Put the reverser to forward. Might have to pause this. Alright, that was it. We had to press F to acknowledge the passenger alarm. Right, so once again we'll wait for everybody to get on. Oh, thank Christ for that. Now, another thing I saw in the manual is we have to have the thing in neutral, which I think it is. Which is when we do our power supplies to DC, so power off and then power on. Wait for that to stop flashing. There we go. I think we are ready to go. Right, R to close the doors. Right, let's get underway. So reverser can move. Our power's set right. And we're in a 25 mile/hour zone, so yeah. Let's go. So that whistling noise, that's what we get on a 444 and 450. I'm wondering if the trains are made by the same people. Okay, so we will just continue on this route. We'll be in 40 and then 75 very shortly. That route there off to the right is obviously to like Battle and Hastings and Dover, etc, etc. Right, very shortly being a 40 and we can go to full throttle. Just did that in time. And that just in time as well. So it's 75 now. So the first station that we will be going through is Preston Park. And then we'll be on to a 90 zone, which is I think the top speed for most of the route up until we get outside of North London. And get through Preston Park. Not really a huge amount here, slightly sort of suburban station. There's quite a few viaducts and tunnels on this route. Okay, we'll just coast from a little. Can we add a little bit of throttle? We can, but very shortly we will be in the 90 zone. Now I'm not sure about top speeds on this thing. Obviously we're running dual mode. DC will obviously be the slowest. Right, let's go through this hill here on the South Downs Way. You need to go up it and over it and down it again, where you just go straight through the centre of it. So this journey is, well, from now is just over 100 miles. We've done a couple of miles, so yeah. It's going to be a good hour and a half to 2 hours, I reckon. Especially when we're going through London, where we won't be going particularly fast. Right, I've actually remembered to turn my teacup warmer on, so that should stay hot right down the cup. So this is the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the 700. You get a few other models in it as well. But obviously for this, and I've seen it when I've been at Gatwick, the Class 700 that's going to Bedford. Right, let's see if we can find a sweet spot where we don't lose too much power. Go through the tunnels, we've obviously got less air resistance. But yeah, it seems alright at the moment. 28%, 1 in 272. Hassock's coming up again. That's a very small, not too significant station, so we will be going through that. Okay. Out of that tunnel, there's a nice red London bus in Brighton. Look like a route master as well. Obviously, I don't think the buses are like that in Brighton. I think a lot of them are stagecoach. Right, here we go through Hassocks. Not a huge amount to see here. I think I mentioned in the previous video, my late uncle used to live there. Quick viaduct there. I don't know what this is all about here. But far as a footbridge. Okay, Burgess Hill coming up. Yet again, we will be stonking through that. So we will be switching over to AC overhead once we get to Farringdon. So hopefully we'll see the pantographs go up. Okay, we were on a completely flat bit of track there. So we're losing a little bit of acceleration. Let's sort of get ourselves back up nearer 90. Go through Burgess Hill. big old buildings there. It was just because they're up on a hill. They looked like they had quite a few floors on them. Okay, this looks like a road bridge coming up. I don't know where that branch is going to. If someone knows, they could put it in the comments. And here is Wivelsfield. Looks a bit more of a run-down area, well, compared with Burgess Hill. Let's say less snobby. There's some big old gardens there. So, that big old viaduct there. And we're going under another one here. And lots of stuff is going past it there. This is just the way the railings are done, so that's a road and footbridge. And Haywards Heath is coming up, which is our first stop of the journey. Don't we need to quite brake that hard, do we? This tunnel wasn't indicated on the HUD. Brakes in this thing are pretty good. So we will look for the 8-car stop if there is one. On platform 3, they're all here. There we go. That should open the doors for us. Except it didn't. Ah. So it's you to open the doors. It's more of a Train Sim World door opening key binding. Don't just press T on this. Right, platform duty is complete. Okay, so it's R. There we go. That's the doors shutting. Right, let's get underway. So our next stop is Gatwick. Okay, we're not moving. Turn the DRA off when I hit the wrong key. And there we go. So let's get right back up to top speed. Now we're now 90 miles from Bedford, so this thing has not been too bad. And it's not taking us all that long to get up to 90. But we should see a bit of an improvement in that once we switch over to AC power, once it's available. So it'd be Gatwick, then East Croydon. That is if East Croydon is a stop on this route. I've changed it slightly. I'm pretty sure it is, but you never know. That's the major Croydon stop. That also a bit of a junction as well. There we go, another lovely great big viaduct. Yeah, very nice. One thing we haven't done, it's a Lucosa special, is open the windows. Get some proper engine sound. Right, Balcoon, platform 1. But we are not stopping there because fuck them. So this would be a very long journey if I was doing all stops. So whenever I get a request and it says all stops, a little bit of me inside dies. But then at least I don't have to remember where I'm supposed to be stopping. Every cloud. Welcome. Not a huge amount here. Looks like it's in the middle of a valley. Mainly forests. With a few scattered buildings. Well, we've got an 80 limit coming at that, so we're going to have to slow down. But not for another mile and a quarter. And these brakes are pretty good, it won't take much to lose 10 miles an hour. And it's not for long, then we're back into a 90 anyway, so. Oh, we're in the 80. Well, it looks like 3 bridges is coming up soon. That means Gatwick won't be far off. Okay, looks like we can't do a sweet spot at the throttle there. But we'll go through 3 bridges where the Arun Valley line will join this. We'll see that coming from the left, from Horsham, Pulborough, Christ Hospital, Littlehampton, Arundel, Amberley, they're all stops in there. And there it is. Okay, here is 3 bridges. I'm looking to see where these bridges are, but there's at least one of them there. Some allotments there. Right, so we haven't got far before we get to Gatwick. And there it is. And there is British Airways plane coming in on runway 26 left. These brakes are really good. Look, 37%, that speed is coming right down. Let's reduce that a little bit. Increase it again. Slightly too early. Okay, so 6 car stop there. 10 car stop, so we'll stop around here. Right, okay, Gatwick Airport. Okay, there's the doors open. And here we are at Gatwick South Terminal. Did not take us long to get here. Right, we'll just wait for the platform operations complete notification. It doesn't come up in the next sort of 10 seconds. Oh, and there it is. That's the doors shutting. Oh, no, it's R, isn't it? I press T again. There we go. Right. Ready to go? Oh. Just heard a plane coming in. Yeah, that's landed. Right, Hawley is just half a mile up the road. We will not be stopping there. So let's get this back up to 90 as quick as we can. Let's top the vape up while we're about it. Oh, and this liquid's run out in this bottle, so I'll just grab another one. There we go. Right, this is Hawley. It's fucking noisy living here. Half a mile from the airport. With a very, very busy runway. Yeah, Gatwick, although it does have 2 runways, only one is ever in use. Can't use both because the gap between them is not big enough to have 2 jets alongside each other without them scraping each other's wings off. So runway 26 right, or 8 left if you come from the other direction, is normally used for taxiing on and off the main runway. Yeah, I did put out a poll if anyone wants to see some more Flight Simulator games and where we could go. I think I only ever had 2 responses, so yeah, it was a response to that was awesome, wasn't it? I might just do it anyway, because I like it and because fuck everybody. Well, the next stream will be Train SimWorld 6 that I acquired in the sale, along with the Great Western Main Line, or a bit of it, remastered with a few trains, plus the Riviera line. So I might do that as a live stream, perhaps, and people can choose which, because you get a lot of locos with the Great Western Main Line, and it's only from I think it's from Paddington to Reading, so it's not long, so we can do it a few times and people can let me know which locos that they'd like me to use. Trains. Right, oh, we've got a little 81 up here. So we will break in a minute. So the next station we will be stopping at is East Croydon, if it is on the route. Okay, we'll just do some gentle braking here. I can't see what that station is. But we're on the avoiding line anyway. Nearly speed there, because we're on a downhill now. But we'll be back up to 90 in just a second. There we go. So what, so far this 700, apart from me not knowing some of the key binds, RTFM, and suddenly I can use it, it's been a pretty good drive. Very smooth, very easy, very responsive. So this, obviously you need this 700 from, I think it's from Dovetail Games, you need that DLC. And then the Armstrong Powerhouse, you get all the bells and the whistles. No pun intended. Right, see if we can get a trackside view. No. No, we wouldn't do going over that bridge. There's not really much trackside there, is there? But we are on a 1 in 190 uphill, so we are losing a bit of speed. Yet another tunnel through a hill. This route, they'd build a tunnel through an anthill, wouldn't they? I love it. We'll be going downhill in a minute, so we'll have to watch the old speed. So we're not picking up any speed yet when we throttle zero. Oh, that lurched, didn't it? Jesus Christ. Another branch is joining us. Something else, I've got no idea what it's all about. It's running sort of down the bank there. Looking up fast Coulsdon. So is that going to be a station that we're going to be going through? Let's see it on the HUD. A small viaduct. Is this what used to be a tunnel and they just took the top off it? There's a mental hospital. Or used to be a mental hospital. Right, Purley is our next station. We will zip through. Branch going off that way. And Purley Oaks, yeah. So these must not be oak trees around here then. If they are, there's not enough of them. There must be a lot more just a mile up the road or up the track. And we've got a 60 coming up. So we are starting to slow down, mind you. What's that, South Croydon? We're not stopping there. That means we are near East Croydon. These Pearly Oaks, these must be them here, just there. And a 45, and then East Croydon. I need to brake a little bit harder. Okay, we are stopped, well, slowed down in time for our 60 mile an hour limit as we go through South Croydon. Reasonably major station, but not one that's normally stopped at on the main Brighton run. Obviously, 45 coming up, there'll be some points here. As gentle braking we can, ready for this 30. As we head into East Croydon itself. Go. We'll try and stop in the right place. It's marked up. So we're on platform 1 here. There's 3 and 4 car, then there's 6. We are just after that, which I can't see anywhere. No, I can't see it anywhere, so we will just stop here. The whole train is on the platform. Right, so press the I button this time to let everybody off. Or was it O? Yeah, it's O. Here's East Croydon. I think we've got even more high rises now from here. And looking at our speed limits that are coming up, we're going to briefly get to 60 and then we're into 30 as we head up towards London Bridge, which I think will be our next stop. Right, and we've got our platform operations notification. I'll probably just go ahead and shut the doors. Like so. Right, let's go. So we've done 2/3 of the journey now. We've got 62 miles left. This is going to be the slowest part as we go through central London. So we're in a 45 zone. And briefly in a 30 as we go over some points. Oh, we're in a 30 at the moment. Yeah. So we might as well just accelerate to 30 at this point. And just coast until we get into the 60 zone. There we go, over these points. Okay, now we can go through 60. This must be the slower route. We were supposed to go via Herne Hill, but I haven't seen anything near that yet. But then we've got Norwood Junction there. So let's get ourselves up to 60. And then we would ignore that 70 because it is 25 miles an hour. Just after we get out of Norwood Junction. Yeah, lots of slow speed limits here. Norwood Junction. Through it quite slowly. So we will coast now, but we have a 30 mile an hour limit just after this 25. And then another half a mile after that, and we're in a 50. But yeah, it's because of all this lot. Squeal, squeal, scrape. Oh, that was a bit of a waste of time. Accidentally hit the brakes. There are 50 and then back to 25. Okay, so this must be the way to Herne Hill. A slight variation on the route. You climb up here, right there, yeah, there's Crystal Palace. I think they've got us a little football ground there. So I'm told. There's also a Selhurst station, isn't there? So I wonder which one's closer. Is at any point even accelerating? Fucking hell, 15. As we come out of Palace Station. We'll let the uphill gradient slow us down enough, which it nearly has done. Herne Hill, I think it's just south of Brixton, isn't it? Yeah, look, we can only do 20% on there. Quite steep, 1 in 80. And 20%, we're not getting much in the way of acceleration at all. It's a tiny little bit, but we don't want any because we've got a 15 mile an hour slow down here. And here we have Crystal Palace Station. Oh, there's the old crawling mast, radio mast there. Right, let's get us down to 15 quick. Not for long, just as we go around this section here. And out the other side of this tunnel, and we should be good. Yeah, let's get up to 50. Gypsy Hill. All places near Palace's ground. I think at the top of Gypsy Hill you can see the football. We're on a slight downhill here, so when we come off the throttle, I just have to keep an eye on it. Yeah, we're gaining speed and we need to lose some as well. So here is Gypsy Hill. Briefly in a 35. We'll brake a little bit because we're going to pick up some speed quite quickly because of this downhill. 1 in 75. See, just coasting, we are picking it up quite rapidly. Really faster than a lot of the old locos, especially the Class 205. So we've got a 50, but that's pointless because we've got a 20 coming up. Well, this is very slow around this way, isn't it? Still on a 1 in 83 downhill. We've just got a sort of little dab of brakes, take it off, wait a few seconds and another little dab of brakes. One in 69. Here we are at West Norwood. Creep slowly through it. Oh, bollocks. so well up until then. Right, we can go up to 30. Oh no. Back to 20 again. Then as we approach Tulse Hill, we can go to 60. So we're going over this way, and I'm speeding again. I'm not doing well here at all. These gradients are all over the place. It's always the same. When I'm in sort of a very slow urban area where there's a lot of speed changes, this is where I take my eye off the ball with the speeding. I mean, look, we've got a 60 here, but then it's 15. There's a double yellow. I'm just going to coast now because we're picking up a little bit of speed. Then as we coast through Tulse Hill, I will slow us down to 15. In fact, I'll start doing that now. I won't do an external view here because I need to concentrate. I've wrapped up 3 or 4 speeding errors in the last mile, which is really bad going. Especially considering I've done about 50 miles without any. Here's Tulse Hill. And a single yellow, which means we are probably turning left at these points. Quite a sharp curve, which is why the low speed. But mercifully, we're in a 45 any second now. But not for long. Look, there's a 20 half a mile up ahead. So it's not really going to help us that much at all, is it? Really not much point going full throttle because we're only going to have to brake in a minute anyway. Okay, so this is the Herne Hill. This is the route we're going, so it is different to Lucosa's route. I'll just stick it at 20 there because it looks like they're both there together. Then we're going downhill, we've got to be really careful on the speed. I'm doing external view here, looks quite good, but really I've got to pay attention. I do not want to rack up any more speeding errors. Did them all in that little cluster. Let's try and avoid them now for the rest of the journey. Okay, gradient, the downhill gradient has flattened out a little bit, although we are still gaining some speed here. Go through Herne Hill. don't know what this speed limit is coming up. Is it 30 or is it 20 or is it 10? What's the actual speed limit? $30 and $20. Well, we'll just stick to 20 for now because it's going to be 60 soon. Got a busy little junction this. So I think we're going straight on. And then we have a 60. Thank Christ. And I'm speeding. Wasn't keeping my eye on it again. That went well, didn't it? So we've got Loughborough Junction coming up. We won't be stopping there as our next station is London Bridge. Oh, finally we're in a 60. Have a quick look around. Okay, there's the Gherkin and a few others there. There's someone with a shard. Right, Loughborough Junction. Oh yeah, there's the junction there and there. Camberwell, this is disused, so yeah, that ain't far from me at all. And Elephant and Castle, that definitely ain't far from me. The old Elephant. So we must have Brixton just over that way. Right, so let's have a look and see what this disused thing is all about. Obviously I can see we've got to slow down to 50 just before we get to the Elephant. I can see that building from my flat window. The old wind farms in the top of it. Start to slow down. We've got to get down to 40 and 30 very soon anyway, so I'm quite happy to coast as we go through the Elephant. There's the shard. I can also see that from the flat window. Okay, let's give it a bit more. So it looks like we're not going through London Bridge at all. Straight onto Blackfriars, that's where we will stop. I should really have stopped at the Elephant, but that's my own ignorance on show there. Even though I live in the area, but I've never caught the Thameslink train at all. I'm going to be down to 20 anyway as we approach Blackfriars. So we'll stop at Blackfriars City Thameslink. It's not far from my office actually. My office is on Holborn Viaduct. So City Thameslink is what was Holborn Viaduct Station. See, that station has not got a good reputation for delays and cancellations and all sorts. But in its defence, it shares the tracks with other operators like Southern and things like that. So if Southern have a delay, it's going to have a knock-on effect with Thameslink, and same as South Eastern as well. So it's at the mercy of quite a few operators. So that's probably why. I think it's almost definitely why it has all these problems. There's some pulls. Okay, we'll try and stop at the right place. Quite a large platform. It's across the river, isn't it? Well, the whole train's on, so it will stop here. S. All carriages there, so right. Doors are open. Here we are. We are halfway across the Thames, Blackfriars Bridge. So we get a notification that platform operations are complete. There we go. So doors shut. Looks like that's happened. So let's get underway. So we are in a 20 mile an hour, soon going to be 30. Not that makes a huge amount of difference. We're still on DC third rail only, as you can see in front of us there. And we will shortly be stopping at City Thameslink. Careful there, we are on a 1 in 37 downhill. And look, we're still losing speed. Increasing speed even. Okay, let's just make sure we stop at the right place. As near as damn it. Doesn't give us anywhere, so we'll stop just short of the end of the platform. Just here will do. See, that might be in the S there, but can't really tell. Okay, not a huge amount to see here, but this is City Thameslink. We're sort of subsurface now. And the next stop just up ahead is Farringdon, where we'll be switching voltages while the passengers are getting on and off. Right, just wait for our notification, and there it is. That's our clearance. So we are in a 30, but we're only going 0.3 miles, so there's no point going mad. Let's just see if we were supposed to stop right up here. No, nothing there, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with where we stopped. My old office was near Farringdon. It was near Hatton Garden, so Farringdon was the nearest station, closely followed by, what was it? Oh, it's the one near Fleet Street. Can't remember now. God, my mind's gone blank. Right, there we go. Look, we can see some overhead cables now. Okay, and here we are at Farringdon. I'll try and get as much of the train on as we can. I think we've just about managed it there. Again, not a huge amount to see here. So all the doors are open at the front. And not... Oh yeah, and at the back we've done all right there. Right, platform duties complete. Right, let's put the reverser into neutral. We will turn the power supply to off for a second. We will switch this over to AC, and then we will turn it on again. While that flashes, let's just have a look. There we go, our pantographs have gone up, as we can see there. Okay, and the reverser back in forward. So all our doors are shut. No, they're not. They're shutting now. Right, well, we're in a 30, let's go. Let's see what difference the acceleration performance is. So the engine sound is different. So the next stop is King's Cross, but we won't be stopping there because I checked. We'll be stopping at St Pancras. I think this bit of King's Cross could be disused now. Yeah, very different engine sound. And I'm speeding. I wasn't paying attention. So we'll go through King's Cross Thameslink. I don't even think that's a thing anymore. But we will be stopping just after it at St Pancras. We're on an uphill in a sec, so we'll give it a little bit of throttle. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is disused. Just seems to be some crappy old wooden steps in and out. So it will give that a miss, but we are just about to pull in the St Pancras anyway. Oh, there's a 15-mile-an-hour bloody limit coming up. Okay, so here we are at St Pancras Thameslink station. So I'm assuming it's all part and parcel of St Pancras International and King's Cross and Pancras. Right, let's stop up near the end again so we can get the entire 8 coaches on. Right, they're all on. Everybody's getting off. See, all those people, as you can see. There's a couple milling about over there. And someone getting on. Right, I haven't seen our notification, and on cue, there it is. Right. Okay, so. Okay, is there a reason why we're not moving? Oh, yes. Shut the doors. Good safety feature, that. So, I know it's a 30 limit, but look, we've got a 15 coming out and we're on an uphill, so. Quite steep. And I was watching the gradient and I'm speeding again. Okay, hopefully we're going to end up above ground, not too shortly. There's Kentish Town, we won't be stopping there. I do think our next stop will be St Albans. Look at this, 20% throttle, we're still losing speed. There's a 1 in 38, so yeah, we really are climbing up a mountain here. %, and we start increasing speed. Let's see where we are with 25. Oh, we still lose it. 28. A very slight increase. Single yellow, so obviously there's some points coming up here, because I don't think that's going to be a red, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I think we're going to veer off to the left here. We're back on sort of flatter ground here. So we've just got to flick it between 0% and 20% to keep the speed roundabout right. Yeah, this just seems so slow. Another flashing signal. Are we going to be diverting off again? What it's saying we're on a 30 mile an hour here. I didn't see that coming. and that is saying 50. So I'm assuming we're not going to get a speeding error here. Maybe I missed it. But it's definitely going to be 50 after Kentish Town. And then 80, look at that. God, we haven't done that for a while. And just blow some dust off the engine. It's not a red signal, another flashing signal. This is Kentish Town. There's also a Northern Line overground service from here. You can see what the next signal colour is going to be. Bit far away at the moment. And it's a single yellow with a diversion sign on it. Okay, so will we be diverting off to the left? Which we are. Now we're on a green. So what we're going to do, we'll get past that and we'll put the throttle on full and see how quickly we accelerate on the AC overhead line voltage. We're not on a massive great slope here. Oh, we've got 90 and 95 coming up at West Hampstead. Yeah, I mean, it's not hugely different, but you can see it accelerating slightly quicker. I'll probably notice it more when we get to higher speeds. The 95 is going to be the fastest we've been since Brighton. Well, since the start anyway. I think 90's been our top speed. Okay, so West Hampstead coming up. Totally different engine sound, isn't it? Here's West Hampstead. Right, so we are now in a 95. We will go through Cricklewood. A friend of mine comes from there. He now lives in Spain. Yeah, this is a lot quicker. You can tell the difference. Cricklewood. Fairly built up still, not a huge amount. Right, we are now in at the 110. Yeah, massive difference being on AC, massive difference. Okay, we are now passing through Hendon, where they train up the old Bill. Quite a small station there. Silkstream Junction down fast. So we lurch across it like that. And the next station is Mill Hill, and yet we will be not stopping there. I don't know if this has got a speed set. I didn't read that far in the manual. Seems to be a Siemens train like the 444, 450, so I don't think they have that. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this train. It was so easy to switch the voltage. Although we do appear to have slowed down our acceleration. There's Mill Hill. We seem to be stuck at 106. I don't think this will quite classify itself as a high-speed train. Yeah, see now we're down 105 now with this 1 in 188 uphill gradient. However, we have a 100-mile-an-hour limit coming up, but not for long. Elstree and Bournemouth coming up, where the old TV studio is. Back in the 110 just before we get there. We can have a quick look around and say we can see if we can spot the studio, but I really don't know what I'm looking for. Here we are. Yep, I really don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe it's this lot over there, that looks like a big flat building. There's a big car park there. It could be this lot as well. You know, it looks more like a big warehouse. But yeah, I don't know what I'm looking for at all. $108, $109. $110. and find a sweet spot on the throttle. And we are in a 1 in 200 downhill. So we did get to the top speed. So I suppose we can almost consider this a high-speed train. Right, this is Radlett. Can't be too far from St Albans now. We've lost a bit of our gradient. Yeah, we're picking up speed, 100%. It's down to 53. So we can stick it around 107. We've got 100 coming up. We're on uphill now. We will come off the throttle, let the gradient brake for us. "31 miles. So we're at Bedford. And there is St Albans. So we will be stopping there. It'll be a good test of these brakes because we're doing 98. So that was enough. And directly we come out of St Albans, we will be in 100 and then 110. Not going to complain at that. Doesn't appear to be a hugely long platform. Let's get as much of the train on as we can. There's the 8-car stop, so we have to go right up the end. That'll do. The whole train is on the platform. Let's let everyone off and take a quick look around. Here we are at St Albans, right next to a church. And if it's St Albans Church. Oh, it says St Albans City, so this is a city, is it? Not one of these recent cities, or has it been a city for a while? I don't know. I don't know much about the area at all. Right, platform operations complete. That should be the doors shut. Yep, let's get underway. Okay, we are entering the 100 zone. I don't think we'll quite get to 100 before we get into the 110 zone. But it is accelerating at a really good rate of knots here. Up to a certain speed, we wouldn't be too far behind the 801. So, next stop on the route is Luton, our penultimate stop, and then we'll be finishing off at Bedford. There we are entering the 110, we're doing 76. And we have a trackside view. That's pretty good. Quite an impressive train. So acceleration has slowed a little bit. This is where the 801 would start paying for itself. And just keep going and going and going at the same rate. Mind you, we're on a bit of a hill. We'll be heading downhill very soon. I think this is totally flat. There's Harpenden coming up. We won't be stopping there, of course. And we have a whole 5 miles an hour speed limit reduction. I think I've said this before. Who worked out that 5 miles an hour would make a difference between life or death on this particular section of track? Right, here is Harpenden. Nothing immediately sort of significant springs to mind as we go through there. We really are starting to chew through the miles now. We're doing a 3-figure speed. There we go. Now we're down to 100. Maybe it's these curves that dictated the speed limit. Still got way to go for it to slow. Oh, and then there's 95. Again, nothing hugely devastating. I reckon coasting will get us to the speed we want anyway. Even at 20. It must be in a slight uphill. Luton Airport, so we're not far from our next stop, Luton. And will we see any planes? Luton, I don't know if it still is, was the original EasyJet hub and home airport. Did start increasing speed there. Right, let's start braking for Luton as we go through the airport parkway. No idea where the actual airport is, no sign of it, no obvious sign of it anyway. Slightly overzealous on the braking, but not a huge amount. Okay, that's good. We've got 110 as soon as we less than a mile out of the station. Right, let's get so we can find the correct place to stop. There we go, there's an S there. And there we are. Welcome to Luton. Twinned with Ukraine. Or the Gaza Strip. I remember when their football team, Luton Town, used to be in the what was the Premiership, but it was Div 1 then. I don't know where they are now. I think maybe in Div 2, which is what was Div 4. Right, platform operations complete. Doors shutting. I could signal the guard with that. Oh. It's only now that I've actually thought of that. Brilliant, isn't it? Hey, we are in a 100-mile-an-hour speed limit. And there's 110 coming up, so we might as well just crank the throttle up full. Okay, so that was our penultimate stop. I don't think we'll bother stopping at Milton Keynes. We will go through that, pop all the red balloons as we go through it. and then stop at Bedford, where we will finish the journey. Right, we're coming into the 110 zone. Leegrave, is that how you, Laygrave? I don't know how you pronounce that, but we're going to be going through that at a fair old rate of knots. Yeah, we're going to be doing almost a ton when we go through there. We're at Leegrave. Not much to see here, very precisely lined up fir trees there. Okay, so we are now doing a ton. Looks like we're on a slight downhill, very slight, 1 in 383. So I'll reduce the throttle quite a bit when we get to about 108. I can look for a sweet spot. Yeah, we seem to be maintaining our speed here. It's very hard to tell without seeing the decimals. Oh, we've lost a little bit, so we'll pop it up to 32. There we go, we're back to 108, so there we go, there, that's somewhere in between. What, Harlington? Another one I've never heard of. I'm not going to get much trackside view there. But we'll see if we can get a rough idea of what it's like to see our train speeding through here over 100 miles an hour. Here is Harlington. Oh, that's rapid. About 12 3/4 miles. So we're at Bedford. I have no idea of the stations now. I know it's pretty much not going to be like Biggleswade and Sandy. You know, they're not far from Bedford. I think they're slightly over a bit on the East Coast Main Line. Ah, Flitwick, yes. How could we forget Flitwick? Yeah, so I'm sure this is the Bedpan line. I think it's called that because of Bedford and St Pancras. I could be wrong though. Right, we'll have a quick look at Flitwick. Not a huge amount going on here. There's a couple of people milling about. Industrial bit there. And we have a speed reduction to 100. We'll see how much we can brake naturally. Oh no, it isn't for very long, is it? It must be going uphill. Zone. As we hit this tunnel. And we're back in the 110. It was only just a fleeting speed limit decrease there. Blow the brick dust off the tunnel walls, do we? We are on 1-200 downhill. Right, let's give it a throttle reduction. Keep an eye on it. So you only got 5 3/4 miles to go. I'm chewing through this easily. We're heading down to ground level as we start to approach Bedford. I expect to see some speed limit decreases very soon. Still going down and down and down. It's flattened out a little bit. Right, flashing double yellow aspect here. And what is our next signal going to show us? Flashing single yellow. And then we're going to go over some points. Ah, look, yes, there's a speed limit decrease there, so quite need to brake that hard, but it shows you how good these brakes are. And there is Bedford. The end of the line. So just over a mile to go. And we are going over these points. They're not too much of a curve, so we're not lurching all over the show. Green signal ahead for us. Interesting, because I thought that signal would be a single yellow and would have a red one at the other side of the platform at Bedford, but obviously not. Yeah, I saw that we picked up a bit of speed there. I managed to brake just in time. Look, we got a green signal at the end of the platform. Right, let's look for the correct place to stop. I think it's there, 8-car stop. There we go. Right, everybody off. All change, all change. So this is Bedford. I've been here, but in the car. And that brings us to the end of the route. I mean, yeah, that is a fantastic route. The 3 routes all put together really seamlessly. There was no problems with invisible trains or anything. So we literally just went straight through. And the only problems with those cluster of speeding errors I had through central London, but that was 100% down to me, not down to the route. But I mean, yeah, look how far we've travelled and across 3 routes. Absolutely excellent. And the train, yeah, the same as the route. Absolutely excellent. It was so responsive. Brakes were fantastic. The switching of the modes between DC and AC was really easy and straightforward. I would advise reading the manual before you do this, which of course I didn't, did I? And yeah, it performed really well. Looks great. So yeah, I would 100% recommend getting the Armstrong Powerhouse 700 enhancement pack, because you get a few other models in it as well. And quite a lot of liveries, although I specifically wanted this one because this is the train I had seen it going to the place that I'd seen it. Okay, right, let's just see. So is it 4 or 5 speeding errors, I reckon, at least. Might even be more. 6. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we did 103 miles. Okay, so we sped 6 times. They were all sort of clustered around London. Okay, where we were going, you know, we were going 20, 15, back to 20 to 30 briefly, then down to 15, then to 20, and I took my eye off the ball a few times. So, there we go. I'm still impressed how far I got before I started speeding, but there we go. Yeah, that was it. Brighton to Bedford on the Thameslink train, on the South London and Thameslink route. Fantastic. Definitely get hold of this route. It's on the Steam Workshop. I'll be linking to Lucosa's original video anyway, and he's got the links to where to download it and what the requirements are for it. Okay, right, well that brings us to the end of this video, and we will see you on the next one.